You asked for it, here it is. Illiterate Greg here with a full gameplay from Mezrah Gaming. Look at that introduction, isn't it incredible? We're going up against Terminids in a... So it looks like he's joining a game late here, muting the other participants. I chose this gameplay because there is Airburst rifle gameplay. I find that not that many people play the Airburst Rocket Launcher, especially against Terminids, or... it's just something I don't really see very often, so I thought that was really interesting to commentate over. This is also a really interesting loadout because there is an autocannon sentry. I don't see that as much, nearly as much as the rocket sentry, so I'm curious to see how Mezrah plays this. He seems to be a pretty good player from the little bit of gameplay that I've reviewed. So let's just see as we get into it, into the city here. As we go into close range, we have a 500 kg and a orbital napalm barrage to round out the stratagems. We also have a Coyote, and I'm not sure the secondary because you're seeing the same video that I'm seeing. And I have not reviewed this gameplay all the way through once, so I'm seeing it for the first time as Dragon Roach is in the air. Let's see what the Airburst. Mezrah is going to be ignoring the Dragon Roach for now as a bug breach comes out. E2 and M4 are blue and green. Have a couple of small enemies in front of them, and Mezrah is going to a whole nother part of the map. Just going to knock off that Spore Spewer. I really like that. Hello, Dragon Roach. We're going to wait and fight that one for another day. We're going to help out with this bug breach as the Dragon Roach has now picked up on our other teammates. I do like that Mezrah is clearing out these bugs that are coming in on the flank of our team here, keeping us from getting surrounded and allowing our team to get a exit route should we need one, as the orbital napalm barrage is handling this bug breach no problem. I mean, that thing is so OP for containing bug breaches. I also saw a gas strike in that bug breach, so there are plenty of tools in our teammates' pockets, as we have one supply pack, one wasp, and I think that's a spear on the back of M4. So well-rounded on the backpack stratagems and slots of teammates as we're going to honky-dory up this hill. Now, I put out a poll recently, and it seems that everyone here, at least 3 out of 4 of you that voted, wants full gameplay for me and no more editing. So it takes work off me. You get to see a whole gameplay, and then you get to fast forward through the parts you don't want to see, which is fantastic. One thing I don't necessarily approve of is Mezrah's kind of like taking a little bit of this map in his own control as he kills himself with the Airburst rocket. Maybe Mezrah should stay away from his team, given his propensity of suicide. That is affirmative, sir. Yeah, with a 500 kg, I would like to see him use that a lot more often here in this loadout. He could have thrown a 500 kg easily into that. Since he was alone, he could use a little bit extra firepower. We are getting low already on the Airburst Rocket Launcher, so we're going to have to start looking for some ammunition right around the ground. There should be some right ahead as the rest of the team comes in and helps out, clear out some of these medium enemies. Moving along to the power generator. So this launch ICBM mission, we got 3 main objectives to complete: power generator launch codes and starting fuel pumps before we're able to launch this rocket. Beautiful that someone has a machine gun sentry. However, Mezrah using that Coyote to his full potential, man. That Coyote against Streakers is just beautiful, is it not? Teammates are well-rounded with gas as we pick up much-needed ammunition for the Airburst Rocket Launcher. That's a pretty sick get-up that we have here. I love the armor suit. I'm not sure what kind that is. Probably some sort of damage resistance to either gas or acid, maybe something like Deceitful. I'm not sure, honestly. If you know what armor he's running, please put it in the comments. And Ultimatum is a secondary for his loadout, so I love the Ultimatum. It's just so strong, especially how close range it is. Gives him a nice anti-tank close range option against the Chargers and against the Impalers that we saw just a little bit ago. Obviously pretty weak against Dragon Roaches, but creating some space from the Chargers, very smart decision by Mezrah. I want to make sure I'm saying his names right. Yeah, Mezrah. Still haven't taken care of all the Shriekers just yet, but that Coyote makes it look easy work. Very easy work. A couple of hunters on the backside. Gonna throw down a gas grenade to help create space so the Airburst Rocket Launcher could be useful. Orbital Napalm Barrage, a little bit of overkill. I would have liked to see Mezrah save that for Bug Breach. However, he may be counting on a teammate, well, as we are baiting out a Bug Breach as we speak. So never mind what I just said here. Someone was able to start the fuel pumps on our team, so that is very nice. We just have to retrieve the launch codes and get this power generator up and running before we're going to move on to the main. So this is going to be a pretty swift mission, it appears. However, I would like to see a full map clear from our team of 4 randoms here. A couple of hunters made it out of the Napalm Barrage. However, fire coming their way from the Coyote instead. I hear a charger in the distance. So there's going to be one coming up the hill pretty shortly. And get that streaker handled. Yeah, no problem. Good job, Mezrah. I really like the gunplay here from the Coyote from him. He is on PC, so I would expect no more. I love that we aimed it at the rock here to get the aerial denial from enemies coming from the Bug Breach and covering the back of M4, as M4 is out of ammunition for his spear. E3, purple, also short on stems, however not short on bullets as a gas strike comes in. Alpha Commander, sit down. That Bug Breach is still happening right now. So a lot of enemies coming out. Mezrah trying to get some open space to use that Airburst launcher. Almost kills himself again. He may be struck down by the Alpha Commander. However, stems just in time. Couple warriors. 3 or 4 warriors. Man, that Coyote is sick. And suicide by E3 from an ultimatum as we almost break a leg coming down this hill. %75% health remaining. Gonna throw some gas. I really like the way that Mezrah is using this gas grenade. Not using it offensively, however, defensively to create space. Because this loadout's not necessarily one that shines in close quarter combat. It's more to medium to long range, given the support weapon chosen. And also the autocannon wants to create space as well, as a Dragon Roach is just puking all over the ground in front of E2. Feel bad for him trying to tackle the Dragon Roach alone. However, smart on the idea of not shooting our Airburst Rocket Launcher that direction as E2 goes down from the Dragon Roach. Can't go off alone anymore. It's just a little bit too difficult. Yeah. I love the way the Mezrah is using this Airburst Rocket Launcher against the rocks. Hunter's getting him a couple of licks. As we have 2 more gas grenades, I imagine one more is going to come out. No. Going to utilize the Coyote to handle getting jumped by a couple of hunters. Charger gonna eat a spear to the face, still living. This is a supercharger. Knocking off the leg armor. Smart on Mezrah to target that weak point for the Charger, taking it down finally as another streaker. So there's gotta be another streaker nest out here somewhere because we keep seeing them straggle in a little bit. Still have not activated the power generator. So, very intelligent on Mezrah to go ahead and pick up the load for the team, as everyone else has seemed to have moved on from this endeavor. And we're already halfway done through main objectives of this, as the Orbital Napalm Barrage and Autocannon come off of cooldown. There is a breach, probably somewhere in the city. We still haven't managed to handle the Mega Nest, so there's still plenty of work to do on this mission. 2 rounds left for the Airburst. Half ammo for the Coyote, only 1 stem. It's got to be getting pretty close to a resupply for Mezrah. The team is split up, so it's a little bit tricky on who's going to use that resupply. Definitely not E2 with a supply pack, though, so I think it makes a lot of sense for us to use it. Since E2 is far away, going to the main objective early. And yeah, applaud that resupply use for our team. We could definitely use 1. I would probably just pick 1, maybe 2, depending on how hungry everyone else is for... Nice throw on the resupply. I know you were trying. We're going to destroy it to pick him up. Yep. Just taking 1, not too greedy. And support this decision. We're reloaded up, ready to go. This terrain makes it somewhat difficult to use the Airburst Rocket Launcher. I would imagine that the swamp is the hardest place to use this. But still, getting a lot of value as we shoot the air. Yeah, affirmative. Just trying to get a little ricochet off of some of the buildings as a, yep, stinky charger coming around, spore charger. Gonna eat an ultimatum to the face. And M4, I like the gameplay, the teamwork and camaraderie here from M4. This is the first offensive gas grenade I've seen from Mezrah. Ion Storm is in, so no stratagems are going to be called down here. We cannot use a 500. We cannot use the Orbital Napalm Barrage. Impaler in the distance, as most of the bugs here have been affected by gas quite heavily. It makes a coyote shooting fish in a barrel, shooting bugs in a gas cloud. The Impaler met death in some other way that I didn't notice. Launch code's picked up. Let's launch this freaking missile, baby. E2 blue already over there. So it appears that we're going to move on to the Mega Nest to try to close that, as E2 is going to attempt to load the rocket, and the Spore Spewer, double Spore Spewer cleared by Mezrah. Dragon Roach in the distance. E2 taking some damage here at the main objective. He's going to stem up. He's still got another reload in the resupply, blue does. So not quite worried about his death just yet. If it weren't for these gas grenades, I don't think this loadout would work, honestly. It would be very easy for Mezrah to get surrounded. So the use and conservation of the gas grenades, I think, makes this loadout work. Because he doesn't necessarily have a close range weapon that he can utilize that's extremely strong. I love this vantage point here for both the rocket sentry and machine gun sentry to help Mezrah as he climbs this hill down to clear this nest. 1 or 2 bug holes left. The Bile Titan hole has been handled at this point. We're clearing out some of the chaff as we work our way in. 2 rounds left for the Airburst Rocket Launcher. Still have 500 kg and the Napalm Barrage off of cooldown. 3 holes left. So that's the interesting thing, is we have to use our grenades to close these bug holes. That is probably one of the weaknesses here of the loadout. I would use the Airburst Rocket Launcher ultimatum here and just close this bad boy out. I think he's hoping that a teammate would come to save the day to close these bug holes, but no one's coming to save us. I spoke too early. A teammate is coming to help as we pick up a LiDAR station in the distance. Resupply off cooldown, and bugs to Mezrah's left. Unseen right now, but I did hear them. Yeah, coming from the left side. Airburst Rocket Launcher going to clear out a good chunk. The use of the Airburst this game has been really great. It's a 9 out of 10 use. Good rhythm on this loadout. I'd like to see him lay down the autocannon sentry a little bit more often. I think that he's letting some of the cooldowns stay off cooldown a little bit too much, but that's being pretty nitpicky because Mezrah hasn't died, so you can deduce that he hasn't needed to use these cooldowns, so why use them if he's getting along just fine with what he has? Bug Breach is somewhere, probably over by E2. I do not envy his situation right now, trying to load the main objective while fighting off a Bug Breach alone in a full lobby. Autocannon sentry to help with the Dragon Roach, that's got to be it, to burst damage a Dragon Roach. M4 shooting a spear out the way. And that's how they're going to handle the Dragon Roach as we adjust this LiDAR station. E2, still 1 resupply in his backpack, so plenty of stems for E2. Blue, LiDAR station complete. Someone from this team you would think would have to go there and help him, but no, we're going to go do the Mega Nest instead, as the 3 of us, the 3 amigos over here, agree. Mezrah and the 2 randoms. Patrol. Gonna find an Airburst here. Thinking about using the ultimatum, however, Spear coming out from green, M4. Gonna clean that up. And a couple of taps from the Coyote. Finishing off the patrol without a bug breach. We just had a breach, though, for E2, so... Wouldn't expect one to come out just yet, as the timer is still reset. 14 bug holes to go in the Mega Nest. Impaler just ahead. Going to eat an ultimatum, as did the Charger to the right. Another Impaler. Burning one of the 500 kgs. Support that decision, saving the ultimatum, if not having to use it. That ultimatum ammunition is quite important for shutting out Chargers that may be chasing. If a Charger were to close distance on Mezrah, the ultimatum would be the only real weapon against, unless you got really creative with a Coyote and shot him in the butt with it. But it would be a little bit difficult and would give other bugs time to close distance as well. He must be having some kind of a throwable armor, because that was a very long throw with the 500. And that's the difficult part about this loadout is the closure of bug holes. I wonder if going to... I don't know if you can necessarily do a different primary. You'd have to give up the ultimatum to be able to close bug holes. I think you just have to deal with it, honestly. And if that's the weakness of this loadout, then that's the weakness of this loadout. So now there's no more gas grenades, so we have to be a little bit more cautious, Mezrah, with positioning, given that he can't bail out with gas grenades. Should a collection of bugs come his way. Autocannon off cooldown. Ooh, eating it from this Charger and bled out in the middle of this nest. And the bug breach is coming out, so Mezrah is probably going to have to call down a new Airburst Rocket Launcher. Because going into this bug breach would be a little bit too risky, as 7 of 14 bug holes have been left. Actually, Ion Storm is in progress, so not able to call anything down. Going to be stuck with the ultimatum and Coyote. We're just trying to survive here until the Ion Storm meets its end, and then finally we can call our Airburst down. Or pick it up, depending on what he wants to do. Being quite liberal with ultimatums and gas grenades here. I'm guessing he's trying to utilize all things that are not affected by the Ion Storm to keep the hordes off while we slowly wrap around the outside of this Mega Nest. Maybe trying to rendezvous with M4 as the Alpha Commander out of nowhere with the face tackle. Gonna burn one stem, still 3 stems left. And the Coyote gonna take that down as E2 finally completes the main objective. He must have called down a new supply back, so E2's looking really gravy right now. Rocket Sentry out from one of the teammates, and Mezrah trying to clear out the flanking bugs coming on the backside. Gonna get some help from the Rocket Sentry and M4, much needed as we stay with our team. Very smart decision here. Autocannon Sentry gonna come down. And finally, Airburst Rocket Launcher coming our way as well. Overall, this gameplay has been really nice. 11 of 14 bug holes left, so still some work to do in the Mega Nest. As E3 is moving on to greater endeavors. E2 may be going to call in our extraction already prematurely. Who knows what E2's up to. E3, purple, out of Wasp, just got puked on by the Dragon Roach behind us. As Mezrah is trying to clear out the last 3 bug holes here in this. Yeah, 500 kg is a great option. Out of grenades. So going to try to enlist some help from M4 to close the last few bug holes here. A little bit too close for comfort on using the Airburst Rocket Launcher. We're going to utilize the 500 kg. Actually, yeah, between the 500 kg, Airburst, Ultimatum, and grenades, there is plenty of bug hole closing in this loadout. So, I think this is a well-rounded loadout. The only glaring weakness is lack of close proximity weapon. So, it needs good movement to work well. And you would have to be very cautious of getting surrounded by smaller enemies and utilizing the Airburst to clear that out, just like he's doing right now, Mezrah. I think this loadout works really well, yeah. Yeah, B2. E2 did call in the extraction shuttle early. We did clean out the Mega Nest. Overall, very swift game here. Very well executed from our team. Mezrah, thank you for submitting your gameplays. Actually, no one submits their gameplays. I just happen to find them. Thanks for uploading your gameplays. Mezrah Gaming, 164 subscribers. This video only has 22 views. It was uploaded about 7 hours ago is the time I'm recording this. I'm going to post this today, though. The only thing is, I don't know if he necessarily needed the napalm barrage. He probably could have gone with like a machine gun sentry just to help clear out the chaff. But he would have needed it if a teammate didn't also have the orbital napalm barrage. So it could have gone either way. Overall, I give this loadout maybe 7 or 8 out of 10. Solid choice. Especially the playstyle that was used here. A lot of people would flounder and get surrounded and eaten alive pretty quickly using the Airburst Rocket Launcher. He only killed himself one time, so deducting minimal points here as a Dragon Roach is trying to ruin our extraction as the Dragon Roach falls to its death. There it is, team. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this game. Please pay attention to my channel for more commentaries as they come out in the future. And with that, we'll see you next time.